Tracy, and today I'm going to introduce you to your new best friend, the Instant Pot. So I know you've heard a lot about Instant Pots because they're very popular, and you might even have one in your garage in a box, or you may have it out on your counter, but you've never used it. So today I'm going to show you one of the simplest recipes to get started using your Instant Pot. So here is the 6-quart Instant Pot. There is also a Big Daddy 8-quart, and there's also the little mini, which is 3-quart. So I have the 6-quart and the mini, just in case I want to do rice and something else to go on top. So I'm going to show you some of the very simple tips about the Instant Pot that can get you started very quickly. So you don't have to know a ton about it. Just know that it's not your grandmother's electric pressure cooker, and it's not going to explode all over your kitchen. So today we're going to make steel cut oats in our Instant Pot. A lot of people shy away from steel cut oats because they think they take too long to cook. And if you are the one who's standing there stirring them on the stove, yes, it does take too long to cook. But I'm going to show you a way to make it instant steel cut oats. All right, so we're going to open up our Instant Pot, and it's a pretty daunting lid, but this has a venting or a non-venting device. So if you turn it away from you, if you're facing your Instant Pot, it will say sealing, and that's your pressure cooking setting. And then if you turn it the other way, it says venting, which means the steam is going to escape. And so if you're going to pressure cook, you always want it turned to sealing. And then we're just going to leave that to the side. Make sure that your rubber ring is firmly attached inside, because that's what's going to do the sealing, or the sealing of the steam. So let me talk about oats just for a second. There is a multitude of kinds of oats when you go to the store. One you've probably never seen is called oat grouts. If you were to go and see an oat plant growing in the field, and you pick the grain off, it would be an oat grout. And I don't know if you can see that. It's larger than rice, more like farro, but this oat grout would take a supremely long time to cook. So that's why we don't really see them in the grocery store. But they are the most unprocessed kind of oats that you can buy. Now the next thing would be your steel cut oats. And this is a large bag of steel cut oats because I like them the best. I love the texture, and because the only thing that's been done to these steel cut oats is that they were cut with a steel device. And so by doing that, they've made them a little quicker to cook than the oat grouts. Then you move on down the line to your rolled oats. And rolled oats is just what it means. They've been rolled with something, so now they're flat. And then you have your quick oats, and you can even buy instant oats, which are those you get in the little packets, and these have even been further processed. So every time you process an oat grout, and you steel cut it, you roll it, you machete it up, you're making it easier and easier for your body to digest. So when you do that, you can raise your blood sugar very quickly with the quick oats because they are digested very quickly. Every time you process an oat, then it's more and more easier to digest, which is not a good thing because you're losing fiber and you're losing nutrients. So we like to stay up here at the top of the chain, which is your steel cut oats. So I'm going to put my big bag of steel cut oats right here, and we're going to start with some water and some milk. Now you can do it with all water, you can do it with all milk, but I'm just going to do a little half and half. So I've got 2 cups of water here, and I'm going to add another cup of water. So it calls for 3 cups of water. I'm using my 6-quart Instant Pot. And then I'm going to use a cup of soy milk. Soy milk is very high in protein, so it's a good choice for breakfast. So I've got another cup with my soy milk. Make sure that your non-dairy milk does not have additives to it. This only has soybeans and water. So make sure that you do not get the sweetened kind or the kind that has preservatives or additives or chocolate or whatever. So we've got our fluid in here, and now we need our oats. So I'm going to take a cup of our steel-cut oats and add that in there. Now, the next ingredients are optional, but they're wonderful. A little bit of salt. So you might do about 1/2 to 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which opens up the flavor. And then some kind of sweetener. You could use honey. You could use, I've got a little bit of maple syrup here that I'm going to use. But another really, and you don't need much, just a little bit. And then another thing that I really like to use is called date syrup. And this is just dates and water mixed together, made into a syrup. So you're really having an added fruit in your oatmeal. Okay, so the other ingredient that I really love is cinnamon. And I'm going to add, this is up to you, about 1/2, maybe a little more of just ground cinnamon. And I think we've got all of our ingredients. And of course you could add some raisins in here. You could add some fruit, some apple. Usually it's good to add the apple before you cook it. And that way it becomes softer. But if you want to add additional fruit, you can add it later. Okay, so we are going to stir this up a little bit, making sure that it's all wet. And I wish you could see it. You think they could see that, maybe? So it looks really watery, and you're gonna go, oh gosh, it's not gonna be right, but it is. So then we're gonna take the lid of the Instant Pot and put it right here so that it fits, and you will feel it slide down into place, and then you'll take your hand and turn it until it locks. You make sure that it's on sealing, which is your indicator, and then it's time to push some of these really crazy buttons. And the only ones I ever use are pressure down here in the bottom right corner, and then, and you can't see it because I don't have it plugged in, and then I use my plus and minus buttons to get to the number of minutes that I want it to cook. So I want this to cook for 4 minutes, so I would put my plus and minus to 4 minutes. So remember, you're going to hit your pressure cook button, and then you're going to hit your plus and minus buttons to get it to the number of minutes you want to cook. So this Instant Pot is going to take 10 minutes to get up to pressure, and then it's going to start counting down those 4 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes it's actually cooking, and then 10 minutes it will go down to pressure. So your total is about 25 minutes. So if you look here on your screen and it says 25 minutes, you know it's good to go. And then you should be able to open it up and check your steel-cut oats. Okay, so I've got some I did this morning in my little mini pot. And you can see the mini pot looks just like the bigger pot, but it's smaller, so that if there's just 2 of you in your house, this may be exactly what you need. So remember, you unseal it, turn the lid, and open it up. And usually I just rinse that out, and it really doesn't need a lot of cleaning. And then your serving size for steel cut oats is 1/4 of a cup. So I'm going to spoon out 1/4 of a cup of my steel cut oats. And remember, you could have put some dried fruit in there or some nuts. And now I'm going to fix what I like as far as oats. So I'm going to put berries on top. Today I had blueberries. And I'm going to add some walnuts because we do need those healthy fats. Just maybe a little handful. And then for my omega-3s, I'm going to do some ground flaxseed, about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. And I've also mixed some chia seeds in here. Okay, so I've got a healthy grain, whole grain. I've got my fruit, and I've got my healthy fats with my walnuts and my flax seeds and chia seeds. And if you wanted to add a little more milk on top, be delicious, or maybe just a little more date syrup, maple syrup, or honey. But don't over the power of these delicious oats. You know, when I was growing up, I didn't eat any oatmeal. You know why? My mom didn't like oatmeal, so she thought we wouldn't like oatmeal. But I love oatmeal now. And doing it this way in the Instant Pot, I can do a whole week's worth of oatmeal in 25 minutes, put it in different jars or containers, and I'm good to go for the week. I hope you enjoy this recipe. We're going to move on to other recipes in our e-course and also on our YouTube channel. And we're going to be using more Instant Pot recipes for soups and stews, delicious curries, lots of things that you can make in the Instant Pot that are really do it and go. I didn't have to stir it. It really is instant.